We're live. It's KillingTime.tv live. That's right. We're back for another episode. I am Ayaz Akhtar, otherwise known as Ayaz, as I was told last episode. With me, as always, is the man who can three-hole punch, the unhole punchable, Just Bob.
Yes, that is me today.
As this is a Google Hangout situation, if he doesn't talk, you don't get to see him. So deal with it.
All right.
All right. We gave you a preview last time. We're going to be talking about American Gods. Rob has seen this. This is Killing Time, the show that searches for entertainment that does not suck. I have not seen American Gods. I don't think I'm worried about it being spoiled. So why don't we start where you tell me what is the show about, what is it on, and more stuff.
Okay. Show is on Starz. It's an 8-episode season based on a Neil Gaiman novel. It was written like 10 years ago, but they're kind of mostly following the novel, but they're kind of updating it to in 2017. And what the basic premise like, we have like Odin, we have like the god of media, we have like the god of internet, and these gods are created by us regular people worshiping something. So if someone came to America and they worshipped, the internet, an internet god is born. Kind of following me?
Well, mostly because you said the premise was, and you froze for a while, and then you said something turns it like a god. So are these beings being created in reality, or are they being created
in reality?
Okay, so if you believe in something, essentially, it comes into being.
Right. And so we have these flashbacks of people like the original Vikings coming to America, and they landed on the shores and had a ritual killing to Odin, and that brought him to America.
So, but there's a guy like named Odin who is there?
Well, yeah, he's, a god, but it's also things like you worship, TV or anything, and there's a goddess of media, her name is, so it's kind of weird. But anyway, the basic premise is we have the old gods like your Odin, your Vulcan, your, old Norse gods, old African gods, old, European gods, having a turf war with the new gods who are the technology, media, world, everything like that. And we have this central character who just got out of prison, kind of in the middle of it all, being brought into it and not knowing what the heck is going on. And so you're following him along, and kind of as he starts to figure things out, so do you.
Okay, so this is an 8-episode show. Are all the episodes out already?
All the episodes, the last episode aired, I think, just this past Sunday. So, and it got picked up for season 2. And if you read the book, they made it I'd say about a third of the way through the book in the first season.
Okay, so what is your judgment on the American Gods? Because it sounds like an intriguing concept.
My judgment on this is I read the book, and so that's usually a bad thing for me. But I think because they had, the author is a consultant and making sure everything, they hit it out of the park. The casting is almost exactly who I would have pictured in my head for some of these roles. Ian McShane from Deadwood. I don't know if any people know him. He's also been in the John Wick movies. He's amazing, playing pretty much the same character he always does. And Crispin Glover is in it, and Marty McFly's dad. Gillian Anderson, excellent. Orlando Jones, also excellent. So casting, excellent. Some slower episodes because you're kind of trying to explain this whole God thing, but because the concept's kind of so kooky, it kind of keeps you interested because you want to know what the heck's going on.
I'm still having trouble with the concept of the show. Like, when a god appears, do they appear fully formed as they would be thought of in the minds of the believers, such as like?
Yes. Okay. So there's also like what's funny in one episode, spoiler for anybody, is so there's like 35 versions of Jesus Christ, because you have your Latino Jesus Christ, you have your black Jesus Christ, you have your white Jesus Christ, you have your Muslim looking. I mean, it's just, and they're all in this room, and it's just funny because this, and they actually say this is how the people who believed in them saw them. So this is how they. became.
These gods who are on Earth at this point, one, do they have powers? And two,
Yes.
are they trying to adjust to modern life?
Yes. They're trying. The issue is the older gods are having less and less people believe in them, so their power is draining, whereas the newer gods that are based on like media and everything are coming up because everybody, you know, worships the TV and worships the internet and things like that.
So does Santa Claus fade? Does he not count as a god?
Well, that's an interesting, another spoiler alert. So we don't actually see Santa Claus, but in a throwaway comment, they say that because Saint Nick, who is like Santa Claus, commercialized Christmas and connected him to a holiday, everybody worships him by buying things and things like that. And just like Easter, which is a pagan holiday, but it was taken over by the Christians, because it was taken over and people believe in it, she, as a god, still continues to have power.
Wait, the bunny?
It's a woman, Easter. Yeah.
Okay, so far
she's the goddess. Technically, she's the goddess of spring. If you understand, you know, pagan mythology, Easter is the goddess of spring, and she comes when, you know, spring starts and makes sure the crops are good and everything like that.
all right, I think you've sold me on the show to watch, because I'm just like, okay, I want to know the rules.
Yeah.
Do you find the rules to be inconsistent from character to character? Because that's something that's going to bug me, and you know that's going to bug me.
I find it's inconsistent between the older gods and the newer gods. I don't quite understand, you know, how, you know, this person has so much power and this person doesn't. People are worshiping them. But they do kind of, whenever I think that, they kind of explain it as to why this person has power and what's the worship that's.
Is there, in the first season, and probably not in the first season, is there any explanation for what is creating the gods?
No.
Okay.
And really in the book, it's just people's belief.
I don't know.
Yeah.
That just reminds me of like this idea of who or what is listening to, I guess, the beliefs of these people. But in the idea, I was thinking of like, who listens to magical spells when you say it out loud?
Right.
Because somebody has to.
Right. So the idea is, you know, in a lot of fiction and everything, magical spell is a prayer that you're asking for this power from a deity. And
Yeah, and apparently
talking about? Yeah,
and they're kind of apparently like real sticklers for pronunciation, for
Yes.
if you're incomplete. It's kind of like
Yes.
one of these Alexa devices where, sorry for saying that, folks who have it, where it stops listening to you far too quickly. You're like, no, wait, I forgot.
Yeah.
And it's just like,
Yeah.
nope, you don't exist.
Yeah, done. Yeah.
Start all over again. I'm just curious about who is the thing making gods. And also, does that apply to like the same God that they have for Christianity and Islam and Yahweh? Do they got all these same guy? Like, do we have this person?
We don't have like the God. We have we don't even hear about that. We hear about, you know, the lesser gods, so to speak.
We'll call him Mono God. Mono God.
Yeah, we don't get quite that far into it. But I think I've intrigued you enough to watch it, and I'm interested on a later episode to hear your take when you've watched a few episodes.
All right, now I have to watch the show.
Yes.
And
I like
the next
it
episode.
a lot better than our last episode, Orange is the New Black. How's that?
What was that?
I said I liked this season 1 of that better than season 5 of Orange is the New Black.
Well, that's not saying much.
I know.
Anything new, in theory, can be just great because it doesn't have anything to live up to, at least on its own.
True.
Which
The
makes me-
book, and I still like the show, which is not usually the case.
Which makes me think the next episode that we do in the next 2 minutes is going to be about The Handmaid's Tale, because I tried to watch a couple of those episodes. But before we get to that, anything else you want to say about this show? Is this a show that looks great on a big screen? It's a simple question.
No, you could watch it on a small screen. It's more about character development and, you know, what's going on than it is amazing visual displays.
And this time we thank our Patreon supporters at patreon.com/IYAZ, IYAZ. You folks are keeping this show on the air and doing all kinds of great stuff to let that happen. We're going to thank, in this order this time, Alan Char, Michelle Sergiu, Paul Dow, and Joe Goulad. Thank you guys for supporting the show. If you'd like to support the show and you want video credit, well, there's a tier for that. If you don't want a credit, there's a tier for that. If you just want to throw money at us, we're okay with that too. So you can find that at patreon.com/IYAZ. I am IS. And I should have really made it something else, but now it's too late.
It's all
It's too
good.
late. Next episode's coming up. Are you ready?
Let's do it.